From Mexico to Louisiana, the Red River down to the Laguna Madre, Texas is one big playground. Join us as we take you on some of the best outdoor adventures the Lone Star State has to offer.
Now, there you go.
This is Fishing and Hunting Texas.
You know, in the last 10 years, I've had the opportunity to learn several new weapons, like a crossbow or a muzzle loader. That can be really fun. Michael and Kevin are having the opportunity to learn the Umarex Airgun and get to go put it into practice and hunt. Thanks for joining us. This is Fishing and Hunting Texas.
So Kevin and I this weekend, we're taking turns hunting. I'm the cameraman on the first hunt. He's the hunter. We go to a stand that it's got all kind of game coming into it, but there'd been a lot of aoudad coming in, and Kevin wanted to shoot an aoudad.
Well, it was early morning when Kevin and Michael settled into their ground blind. Now, as expected, the animals were moving this morning, and it didn't take long before both whitetails and aoudad appeared in front of their makeshift ground blind.
There's one shot. Do I? There's one shot, but the baby's there. Dude, I was dead on her.
Kevin is by far one of my favorite people to hunt with because Kevin always gets excited. I can sit there and I can hear him. He's taking deep breaths, he's getting nervous, and that's what makes it fun for me too, being the camera guy, because I get to live through him in that moment. I'm watching Kevin and I'm just having a blast.
She's down, I just saw her. She's down. With an air gun. Is that not amazingly awesome?
Dude, you could reload it and shoot.
How long did that take? What time is it? I bet we watched her. Well, they came out before the sun came up.
They were there early.
That's my first aoudad. So it's gonna make a great European. And believe it or not, when I talked to the processors, which we always understood they weren't that good to eat, the processor said, bring it in. I'll show you what we can do. So I'm gonna take it in, we're gonna have it processed and see how good they are. Oh, what an awesome, awesome, awesome gun this is. An air gun. Well, let's go see it, dude.
Kevin made a great shot on that U. It didn't go far. I could have sworn I saw it go down, but I guess we got too excited. We walked right past it, don't even see it. You know, we're on another bush that we thought it fell by, and it took us a little bit. Finally, we find it. Kevin is pumped, I'm pumped.
So she went about 50 yards. We're looking 100 yards that way, and here she is right here. And I would say it hit exactly where I was aiming. Everybody knows I get nervous when there's some in front of me, but I was rock solid, not breathing heavy. I take the shot. The interesting thing is there's not a huge blood trail, and I expected with that 50 caliber to have blood everywhere, but I think it went right through her, and there's not a lot of blood. But that's okay, we found her. So, aoudad in Texas, and the hammer from Umarex.
Congrats, Kevin. You've knocked down an aoudad U and filled the freezer. All right, coming up, Kevin will step behind the camera as Michael heads out to another area of the property with a 50 caliber Umarex Hammer for an opportunity hunt.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. With the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
You always hope for the buck of a lifetime. When it comes, will you be ready? 0. Welcome back to Fishing and Hunting, Texas.
So Kevin got his animal, now it's my turn to hunt. We're going out and it's just an opportunity hunt. Whatever walks out that's gonna, either give us meat or just make a good hunt, that's what we're going for. It really was a beautiful morning. We had one of those sunrises that was just beautiful to watch. We had cloud cover, we had the wind in our favor. We had a bunch of doe come out. We had one nice whitetail buck, and we watched that buck for a long time, and he was beautiful. I think he was still a little bit young to take. His G2 was broke anyway, but just watching those deer is a lot of fun. I mean, that's part of hunting, is just getting out there and watching them and hoping that he comes out next year and he's bigger. We start kind of thinking about shooting a doe. We're starting to kind of mull it over in our head, and all of a sudden everything kind of picks its head up again and looks to the left. I'm going, here comes a coyote, or it's gonna be a cow or something. Because when deer pick their head up and all look one direction and they're alert, generally not good. I look over and I can see this dark thing coming, so I really and truly thought it was like a calf or something coming through, because there's cows on the property, and it ended up being a cyca. So he comes in, we watch him for a little bit, and we decide that instead of a doe, we're gonna go for a cyca.
I ain't gonna shoot him. I mean, I could. How he said if he comes in and shoot him. Well, does he want me to shoot him? He said go ahead and shoot him. Okay. Good when you are. Okay.
I pull the trigger on him, and he jumps like I hit him good, and then goes behind a bush and stops and just stands there.
His back legs are buckling a little bit. You don't have a clean shot to that brush, do you? No, I don't. Let's see what he does. He doesn't want to go anywhere.
Now, I know I felt perfectly fine with my trigger pull. I know where I was when I pulled. So whenever he's standing behind this bush and not going down, I'm thinking something's wrong. It does finally dawn on me that I'm hunting with a projectile that shoots, it's going about 700 feet a second. I probably didn't range him right. He's in between bushes about that far. And he can turn around and walk straight away from me, and I'm not gonna get another shot. He stops just before I can shoot his vitals. I could see his neck, but I couldn't see anything else. I tell Kevin whenever he takes another step, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot him again. He runs straight out into the field right in front of us. He probably goes 50, 60 yards before he just falls flat on his side. And it's just a lesson in learning about hunting with an air rifle. I got intense for a little bit. That was pretty fun. I said we were coming out this morning for a meat hunt. Cycas are good meat, and they've been racking up a hefty bill on the feed bill, so when he walked out, I thought, well, that's a lot more meat, so we'll take him. They don't get much credit down here in Texas. I mean, they're a beautiful animal, but since they don't grow a huge rack, I don't think many people go after them. but I'm excited to go down there and see what he looks like. I'm glad we got him. Well, that was a good morning. I didn't even notice he's got the spots. See that? That's cool. Oh, man. Rolling in mud. That was a good morning. You know, you can tell that these things are dominant whenever it comes to anything, because there's whitetail out here and they all looked up, saw him come in. I thought he was a cow when he was coming down the road, just this dark animal coming in. But see, and look, here's what happened. The first shot, I misranged him. I'm using this thing, it's shooting, I think 700 or 800 feet a second. I didn't take that into consideration. He's a little further than I zeroed in on. Hit here, the first shot, and the second shot, I raised up on him and made a great shot. When you hunt with the new platform, you gotta learn all the ins and outs. And I made a small mistake this morning by not knowing my range perfectly, and luckily I got a second shot on him and it didn't take long, but God, that was a good morning.
When we come back, Michael climbs high up in a tripod, looking to fill his freezer. And later, Kevin has an encounter with an Aoudad ram that's been on his bucket list for a long time.
Pro-inspired, pro-designed, tested and proven by legends on the water, dominating the tournament trail for over 50 years. Everything you need, one legendary brand. Strike King.
Welcome back to Fishing and Hunting, Texas. We're back in the field with Michael and Kevin, only this time, weather conditions have shifted. Here's Michael to give us the rundown.
Cold front's coming through, the wind's blowing 20 to 30 miles an hour. It's cold, me and Kevin are both shivering. It's kind of lightly raining too. It's one of those hunts that we went from nice, cool weather to me and Kevin shivering up in tripods. We watched those pigs for a little bit, waiting to see if any whitetail or anything else was going to come out. I didn't have a good shot at them for the first 10 or 15 minutes they were out, and eventually they started working their way to the left and cleared the brush line.
You good? Yeah.
Dang. I wasn't expecting that.
Dropped right there.
Good gosh. You know, you come out hunting with an air gun and you kind of think, okay, I mean, it's going to have some knockdown power. Shoot, he just dropped. It's like there was a wall there. He would not come past to where I could get a shot. He'd get there to the edge and he'd turn around. He'd get there to the edge. And, oh, that was cool. It did surprise me whenever that animal just dropped, because again, you think you're hunting with an air rifle, but I wasn't thinking you're hunting with a 50 caliber air rifle. When that thing goes off and it hits the animal, it's going straight through. There's no question it's gonna plow through whatever it hits. There she is. You know, we didn't even plan on shooting a pig this morning, but when they come out and there's that many of them, you know, it's just a target opportunity. And it was fun. It's a good morning. It was a cold morning. We saw a couple different things. We saw plenty of pigs, so glad to have one more out of the herd, and that was a good morning. So it's been a crazy week. We started off with Kevin shooting a ewe. I shot a Giesecke and a pig, and it came around again and it was Kevin's turn. And he's had a giant aoudad on his bucket list for a while. So we went out hunting. It took a couple hunts and Kevin got a massive ram.
Good? Yeah, I'm good. We got one in him. He went back this way. All of them went, of course. There he is right there. He's right there. He's right there. He didn't go 30, 40 yards. Holy moly, an air gun. Look at this. Look at this. That's my first aoudad ram. They said, get him in the shoulder. That right there is in the shoulder. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like to hunt with different things, this is an Umarex Hammer, 4,500 PSI air pressure. And boy, does it send that bullet flying. Right here's an example. He didn't go 30 yards. Holy moly.
Coming up, Michael goes head-to-head with a whitetail buck using the 50 caliber Umarex Hammer. Stay tuned. From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler. Welcome back to Fishing and Hunting, Texas. To wrap up this week-long hunting excursion using the 50 caliber Umarex Hammer, Michael and Kevin head over to an area of the property dubbed the Pipeline, where scouting cameras have shown several good whitetail that would be right in range for this air gun.
It feels perfect. There's not much wind. It's nice and cool. The rut is going on. I don't know if they could hear us or if they were smelling us, but those deer came in and they were real nervous. You can tell when they're nervous from the get-go. They come in, put their head down, look up, look over. They just knew something wasn't right. We saw a couple of young bucks, one real funky deer. I enjoy watching those funky ones. Some people would call him a colt. I don't really know how I'd feel about him, but he was nice to have out there for a little bit because our morning was pretty slow.
After not having the best of luck in the morning, the guys decided to go back to the very same stand for an evening hunt to see if the odds have shifted in their favor.
It's getting late and I saw a deer way off to the right down the pipeline and he was just running around. I don't know if he was chasing a doe or if he was real nervous about something, but he was booking it up and down. He came in pretty close one time, and Kevin couldn't see him, and the next thing I see is a tail, and he's hauling butt across the other end of the pipeline. I'm thinking, well, there goes that chance. We're kind of starting to feel down, we're feeling pressure, and I see him coming off to the right. He finally clears to where Kevin can see him and I can see him, and I think I made sure Kevin could see him a couple times because this was one of the nicest deer we've had on camera.
Do you have a shot?
Not yet. I mean, if he takes 2 more steps to the left, I did.
You good? I'm good. I think he's dead.
Holy crap. Can you believe that, sucker? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe.
Talk to me, young man.
I cannot believe we just dropped that buck with the freaking air rifle. Oh my gosh. That was, okay, so when you look back at hunts and you go, that one was bad luck, that one was bad luck, that one was bad luck, and then you have a hunt like that, that makes it all totally worth it. There's certain hunts that I think will stick with you forever, and hunting with an air gun, it's nothing I thought I would ever do. And to come out and shoot a deer like this, drop him in his tracks, you know, to have the 2 or 3 bad hunts that we had leading up to this, dealing with cows and all kinds of things, and then for this to come right down to the end of our hunt, and it really is, everybody always says, you know, it's the last hunt of our trip. It really is pretty much the last hunt of our trip. We had tomorrow morning, and for this guy to walk out and play like that, it's definitely a special moment for me. I cannot believe that just happened. God, he's beautiful. Hunting with any platform, when you get out into the field, if you can have confidence in it that you can make an ethical shot, if it's gonna have the power to make an ethical kill, it's a blast. It doesn't matter if you're crossbow hunting or if you're pistol hunting or if you're airgun hunting. It's fun, and I just like trying new things. You gotta get out there and do new stuff, and the gun held up great. It shoots accurately, and it's got plenty of knockdown power. And I really enjoyed it. It was very enjoyable.
Congrats, Michael. Way to put a great shot on this awesome looking buck with a 50 caliber Umarex Hammer. Here's some closing thoughts from Clark Wendland on using air guns for hunting.
In every state, there's a lot of regulations on using air guns and air bows. Know what your state regulations are and know your weapon, because as long as you know what it can do, you make that good, clean kill, it'll be a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Fishing and Hunting Texas. Fishing and Hunting Texas is a Careco TV production. This episode was made possible by these partners.
To fishermen and other liars, the time you spent on the docks, the banks, the boats, the lines you cast, and the hooks you set. These moments you share with the people you love, the fish you never forget, and the tales that get taller with every retelling. Make memories that'll last a lifetime with Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
You always hope for the buck of a lifetime. When it comes, will you be ready? 0.
Every time we go fishing, you know we gotta tie one on.
In all honesty, when do I not tie one on?
Every time I go in the water, I love to tie one on every day of the week. I like to tie one on.
You may not know this about me, but every once in a while, I've been known to tie one on.
Come on, man. Join the Stray King team. All you gotta do, tie one on.
I think I always tie one on.
We rely on technology to quickly and accurately engage a target. What if you could have 2 zeros with a single optic? The Second Zero is a prism-driven optical device configured to bend light at a precise minute of angle to achieve an additional 0 downrange. When seconds matter and every hit counts, take the guesswork out of making that crucial shot. The Second Zero by Axion Optics.